Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a Dior Backstage Get Ready With Me, and this is backstage of a masterclass where I was recently the model for an event here in town, and I'm going to try to recreate the look based off of my memory. You know, I was sitting there trying to sit and be pretty, so I'm going to recreate the look with the products that I have here at home. I have most of them that they used, so yeah, that is today's video. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. First up is a little bit of skincare. I have here the Capture Total Super Potent Eye Serum. This is fantastic. So when you purchase the full-size product, it comes with a little metallic wand applicator and it feels amazing. It feels cold and very refreshing. And this eye serum here, it's really energizing and brightening at the same time. It really just awakens the under eye, which is great because who wants a dark under eye? I'll wait. So just a little bit of skincare prep at first. And a little bit of moisturizer. I have the Prestige line here. This is the cream texture. So this moisturizer texture is more for dry skin, which I happen to have, but they have other textures as well. The Prestige line is anti-aging. It's very plumping, very comforting, and the texture here, what is it called? I think it's just the cream. That's the texture. Like I said, it's for dry skin, so it feels very soothing, very cocooning, very nice. I didn't try the other textures, but if you have like oily skin maybe, or if you just prefer a more gel texture, they have others available too. Continuing with skin prep is the lip glow. I'm going into coral colors. I'm going to do like a nice coral look, I think. And so I'm going into the lip glow in 004 Coral. It looks like this. Gorgeous. It has like a slight minty scent. And what's interesting is this product here, it has a bit of a tint, but it also just reacts to your skin pH at the same time. So I'm going to use a little bit of this on my lips to start. But also, they used a little bit on the cheeks as well, because guess what? Your lip color can be your cheek color as well. And it never occurred to me to use the lip glow on my cheeks. And I'm really interested to see, you know, in person how this is going to look, because when they were doing my makeup, I wasn't really looking in the mirror. There was no mirror for me to look at. So I want to see how this is going to change as we speak. I think it's turning a little bit coral just as we're talking here. For the eyes, I'm going into Eden Rock, this beautiful palette, lovely for summer. And I'm going to go into the orange color here. And guess what? I'm going to use the little sponge tip applicators that came with. These are actually pretty good. They're not going to be spectacular for blending, but if you just want to transfer color, it's good enough. And I like this slightly orange color. It looks almost more pearlescent peach on the lid. It doesn't look quite as orange in the palette here, so don't be too worried. I'm just taking this a little bit everywhere on the lid here. One thing I am noticing about the lip glow is that it is keeping my cheek looking very shiny. It's not really drying down very much on the cheek, so just keep that in mind if you do this. But I'm doing this underneath foundation, which you may have noticed, because I do this a lot with liquid highlighters, stick highlighters. I always layer them underneath. So go into your, is it lip glow? Yeah, the lip glow. I always mix up the names of the maximizers and the lip glow. But yes, this first underneath. And it is sort of bringing out a little bit of coral. That's really cute. I never thought of doing this. And I think that this is pairing nicely with the slight orange, peachy. It doesn't look orange on the eye. It sort of just gives an iridescent peach to it, which is nice. And I think it's going to pair nicely with the lip products too. Now, Angie, she is the person who ran the masterclass for the event. I forget the title exactly, but she's like the educator person responsible for all of Canada as far as trainings go, I believe, and education for the brand. So it was a really big deal to have her there. And she used the blue eyeshadow as well in the palette. I'm just going to wipe off the excess of the little peach color on a little napkin, or tissue I should say. Add a bit of powder in the palette here. And I'm going to go very, very lightly. Like I swear she just like barely touched it. And I'll knock off a little bit on the tissue here. And she really just placed the blue in the crease and just like in the outer corner here. It wasn't all over the place. It wasn't smoky. It was just really, really precise, almost just like that. Just doing the same thing to the other eye, and then I'll go back and correct. It's sort of just to get the same shape on both eyes, and then I'll go back and fix things as I go. And then she used the same blue as eyeliner, and I'm going into one of the sponge tip applicators. The sponge is really good to make the color more intense. So I'm just going to sweep this on the lash bed like this, and this will act as a little bit of liner. So the first brush, this one here, that's good just for like general sweeping, but if you want like a more intense payoff, use the little sponge tips instead. And it wasn't a lot, it was just on the outside here along the lashes. Moving on to the mascara, I'm using the Dior Show mascara. It's really nice. It's a really big wide applicator like this. They have, I think this one has a blue mascara, which I've ordered and I'm waiting to get. So that will be nice to try out. So if you want to try the blue mascara with this look, that would just intensify it even more. Although like this is definitely a bit more subtle and everyday, but I like blue mascara, blue liner, blue eyeshadow. So I think that could be a fun look to recreate at a different time with the blue mascara. If you have the lash primer, use that first. That's great. It's really sort of like a lash booster. It makes your lashes look thicker and more dense, and it's a lash treatment. So you can use it in the morning before applying your makeup, but also in the evening. It's great as, think of it as like skincare for your lashes. So you can go to bed with it if you have issues with like lash density. If you just don't have that many lashes, use the lash primer, lash base at night. So that's it for the eyes, very simple. And you may have been shocked at first to think that I was going to mix, these two colors together. But as you can see, with a light hand, it doesn't look that jarring. It doesn't look like, like pumpkin orange and blue. Like it's more peach with a soft blue. It's very subtle, very pretty. Moving on to the complexion, I'm going into my corrector in the shade 2WP. I like this. It's multi-purpose, multi-usage. So it's a concealer, but also a corrector in general, and it has a bit of peach. So this is good if you're going to use any sort of blue eye makeup, because typically dark circles look blue. So it's good to go in with a corrector that has a bit of peach to it. So it just cuts that. And because it has peach to it, it sort of just brightens up the whole complexion. So using a little bit all over the face to correct like this is just going to even out my skin tone, and that peach will give a bit of glow to the skin. A lot of primers have peach to them, or rose, pink, champagne. It's very similar. And just doing this strategically is just going to give me a beautiful glow all over the face with just one product instead of using several. So I'm just going to blend this out. This brush here is a BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy. It's the A506, so it's very angled like this. It's great for contouring around the eyes and getting into little strategic areas. I'm going to top this off with a bit of powder. This is the Backstage Powder No Powder. This is a beautiful blurring, smoothing face powder. I have the shade 3N, and I'm using a big kabuki brush like this. This is not a powder for oily skin types. This is for dry, dehydrated, and mature skin types. But yeah, if you are in my category of dry skin, you're going to love it because it's not drying whatsoever. It's blurring, it's a little bit smoothing, and just a great powder if you want something with lots of water in it, and it will not mattify you really, but for me, it's wonderful. Now for the blush, I'm sticking to Backstage, and I'm going into the coral blush here. It's so pretty. So I'm just going to use this here, and I'm going to go over top of the blush, or not the blush, but the lip glow that I applied earlier, just a little bit. For the lip, I'm going into the maximizer. So this is a great little tip. If you're not sure how to coordinate the blush and the lip, just follow the same names, because these all have similar names, like whether it's cherry or pink or rosewood or whatever. You can just follow the whole series. That way nothing will really clash. So I love this coral shade. It reminds me of like a creamsicle popsicle for summer. I think it's so pretty. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use this. This does have a little bit of a tingling, minty, plumping sensation, but it's really just the color that's so pretty. To set the makeup, I'm going into the Forever Perfect Fix. It's a setting spray, but if ever you want your eyeshadow to pop, you can just spray a little bit of this on a brush and then go into the eyeshadow, and it makes it super intense. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply some of this. I would say that the Forever Perfect Fix setting spray is comparable to the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush setting spray. Like, they're basically the same product from different brands. And then to finish off the look, we have to go into a fragrance. I'm going into the Dior Riviera perfume. It's my summer fragrance. I love it. It's an eau de parfum, but it's light. It smells like a fig tree on a hot day on the Mediterranean. That's the best way for me to describe it. It smells so fresh, so summery, so light at the same time, even though it's an eau de parfum. And at the event, they had a giant candle of Riviera. It smelled so good. It was so fancy, so luxurious. It was very beautiful. So anyway, this is the finished look here. This is my take of the Backstage makeup look. Literally, I was backstage live as the masterclass was happening. So I guess this is a model's perspective on the Backstage makeup look. Let me know what you think. I'm sure you're happy to see this because a lot of you had asked me to recreate it, or I had questions about the look. But yeah, I had most of the products that they talked about, not everything, but most of them. And I think Angie maybe went in a little bit lighter with the blue. I think I went in a little bit heavier. It happens. I'm using a very fancy tool here. I'm using a Q-tip. I think Angie used a little bit less of the blue. But yeah, it was something like this. Very pretty. And I would not have thought of mixing those two eyeshadow colors together, but it actually works. And I think when she did the look, she used pink instead of a coral. Like, she didn't use this pink. She didn't use this pink. She didn't use coral or any coral. She used the original, like, 001. It's the pink that just sort of enhances your natural pink lip. And that's what she used, because she ended up using a red lipstick. She used 999, like the classic 999. And so pink with red goes better. Anyway, I think this looks really cute. I have a new way to use my Eden Rock palette. So thank you so much for stopping by. If you've made it this far into the video, leave a little orange heart or a blue heart emoji for today's video. Anyway, that's all I have for you for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.